sabotage in the UK. And so he got fired from MIT, and then he was backed by the American History Association, and that in a lawsuit against MIT that his firing was politically based. And so then he moved back to Canada, where he was from originally, and he continued to protest against automation of education. And so he refused to use email. And I think I left him a voicemail. I had quoted his book, The Religion of Technology, for my master's thesis. And so what I was doing was taking this argument that people who believe in deep ecology and radical ecology, and putting Earth first, nature first, that we're dismissed as having some kind of pagan religious worldview, whereas Professor David F. Noble proves the opposite, that science itself is a religion. In his book, The Religion of Technology, it goes back to the 9th century in Europe, and what happened is that Islam through Spain introduced Platonic philosophy back into Europe, and it was taken up by the Benedictine monks working for the Carolingian Empire. And so then he traced how that the Freemasons then actually created modern science after it first developed in the monasteries, but it was based in Platonic philosophy. And so, like John's goddess Erigina, he was one of the original advisors to the Carolingian Empire. One of the big views is that the lunar irrational magnitude is logarithms. And so this is based on the golden ratio, the symmetric math. And so there's a trajectory to technology that David F. Noble traces to apocalyptic technology, and he says that science is tied in with religion. So the idea is to create heaven on earth through technology, and to transform nature, and you'll find this I expose this about Melchizedek. He was a New Age deity. We're studying the Stargate conspiracy book. It's similar to the religion of technology, where they basically it's really just Platonic mathematics, and so like Galileo, he got funded in science because he said he could cut down on labor costs. And so the idea is that humans are to be replaced by technology, and the mathematics itself is artificial intelligence. And so now this is popular the singularity, AI. Science, and so now we have all these apocalyptic technologies that are against nature and against Earth, and physics doesn't believe in time. It says so there cannot be negative time, whereas the cosmic mother is based on negative time as a healing energy. And this is why